A very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Today, we kick off the new year with an NFC North matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. Now the kicker, Brandon McManus, about ready to get us started. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. On the return, Rondale Moore will bring it out.
Rondale Moore on the return. The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Herbert to throw right away. Touchdown, Vikings! We thought that maybe a quick strike offense this season. That is lightning quick. Not bad for the first drive of the year.
That has to actually exceed expectations, doesn't it? Because most teams want to be a quick strike offense. They want to score as quickly as possible and run a defense into submission. What they have to understand is, while they got it done there, long way to go. Don't get discouraged if you have to run a few more plays on your next drive.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
Take over first and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
Play action. It's Fields. On the move to his left. He's got him in. Complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 39 yards there. A big one. So the big play gets him across midfield now for first and 10. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That play going nowhere thanks to Devin McCourty. So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up second and 12. Back to throw. Fields. He'll get this out wide here to Elliott. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
And this heads straight to the sideline. I don't think they're going to let him get away with that. Nope, they won't. Here comes the flag.
We saw it, too. Nobody in the vicinity of that throw, and that earns him the penalty.
Yeah, you got to at least get it close enough to one of your own guys in order to dodge the penalty.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose it down on the grounding call. Back to throw here, Herbert. Going to Woods, but that pass is intercepted. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. On the counter, Elliott. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. They follow up the first down 1 yard run on a 3rd and 7. To throw is Fields. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on 3rd down, Ray said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And, Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in Week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
On 1st and 10, Herbert. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
On 1st down, it's Fields. They'll find Everett there, complete. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. The Vikings here hosting Green Bay in the season opener, and they've got one of those quirks in the schedule that is going to work in their favor. They play all 3 of their division home games in the first 5 weeks of the year. After Green Bay today, they'll host Detroit in Week 3 and then Chicago in Week 5. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets them into a 3rd and 1 situation.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, He's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. Being chased out left. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. After one, a 1-point game, 7-6. Second down at 5. Up the middle, here's Elliott. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another first down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
All of a sudden, those lanes over there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. Again, it's Elliott. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. A big play if you think about it right now in this season opener. It's third and goal. Here's Elliott. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Ezekiel Elliott. His first rushing touch. McManus is good. And that'll make this a 6-point game. And they'll accept that penalty. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. It's a squib kick that still makes its way down inside the 15. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42. Great return.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
After the turnover, here's Herbert. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Bobby Massey, right tackle, called for the penalty there. Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty. A shotgun snap for Herbert. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Lawrence Guy able to get in there and drop him for a loss.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now on 3rd and forever, he'll look to throw. Airing it out deep for Woods. On Herbert, his 3rd interception. Picked up by Fabian Moreau.
A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
On 2nd down, Elliott once more.
Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. On 3rd down, Elliott.
And he is not going anywhere. He will not even get back to the line of scrimmage as the clock will stop at the 2-minute warning.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. Returning it is Moore.
A good head-down running on the return gets about 15 yards.
And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10.
At their own 32-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
On 2nd down, Swift.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
On 1st down, Justin Herbert. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Herbert on 1st down now. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
And the Packers are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys who picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. An excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Here's Fields. Fields hit and the ball is loose.
Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety.
The goal here is about getting any kind of positive yardage in this spot because you don't care who, you don't care how. You just want to try and buy a little space and get away from your own end zone. But in this spot, the defense was all over that play and equally motivated to stick them with a safety.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. From the 44, Herbert. And my goodness, another interception. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years, but here we go.
Wow, partner, it's almost a little jarring to see a holder set up on the other side of midfield. I haven't brought out my binoculars to make sure on that one. That is showing an awful lot of confidence in a kicker to try and hit from 61 yards, and this one winds up no good.
And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. On 1st and 10, it's Swift. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Off play action, Fields. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Going for Hilton, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. That is a tough way to start the third quarter. You get the football open to drive it down, put it in the end zone, and take the lead. Instead, they give them the football.
And I think the key here is for them to not get discouraged. That is not how they drew it up, not how they saw it in their minds. But there's a long way to go in this game. You know, they've just got to find a way to come back one play at a time. Yes, it's a cliche, but they can get it done.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Play action. It's Herbert. He'll buy some time right. And this is going to be intercepted.
And the Packers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
That's a beautiful read there by the safety. It's zone coverage, so he's just going to sit back and watch. He knows he can't get beat deep because he has the end line to protect him. So he can react to everything in front of him, and he makes a great break on the football and comes down with the interception.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes at that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked by Julian Love.
CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. And remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or...
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings.
DeAndre Swift.
A 9-yard touchdown run.
And the Vikings have retaken a 3rd-quarter lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that gives them a 3-point lead.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25.
Their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Fields now to throw.
Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Oh, Fields is intercepted for a 3rd time.
Picked up by Alexander Johnson. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Boy, so another
interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
On first down, it's Herbert. That's complete to Swift out of the backfield. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and it's second down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Left side complete to Lockett. And he will have a Vikings first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4. Herbert back to the air. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And the Packers are going to take over at their own 2-yard line. The number 7, that's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about 1 game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer the last to do it in 2001 to throw 7 picks. Second down and 4. Fields, he's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
But you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those. But the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Fields. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. William Jackson with a pick. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. They had him back deep, got the interception, and now they start inside the 10.
Partner forgets starting inside the red zone. They're inside the green zone. From the 10-yard line in, a lot of teams call it that because that's the money zone. Get it into the end zone and make your cash.
A gain of 7 brings up 2nd and goal.
One more time with Swift. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. DeAndre Swift. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together.
Fields hit and the ball is loose. Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
And my goodness, another interception.
William Jackson with a pick. And he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
But based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
And they'll try the option on 1st and goal. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Justin Herbert keeping it himself from a yard out. And the Vikings are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this 3rd quarter. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of here as they trail big in this 4th quarter. He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nabbed for the hole.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so, because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
Now Fields. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And can you believe it? It's a second safety in this ball game. So a failure there to get rid of the football. I don't know in the end that it's going to matter much here with this game, but it yields another 2 points.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. It may not matter a ton with the deficit that's already there, but like my old coach used to say, it sure ain't going to help.
It doesn't help indeed. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football, because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
From the 6. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Fresh off of 6 the other way, it's Herbert. Right side complete, that's Woods. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now it's Herbert. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options and throws it away.
Well, sometimes an incompletion is the right play. And he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Herbert. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Part of what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need.
Picked off by Kevin Farley. So a big return there, Charles, on what was a pretty dangerous throw to the outside.
It sure was, Brandon. That's the risk you run on a throw like this. If it's intercepted, a lot of times this is a pick six. So good hustle to get back and get him down. But, boy, that's a throw you've really got to be sure of if you're going to work the perimeter of the field.
And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7.
89 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in the season opener. Elliott going to get it again on second down.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
Now it's Fields off the bootleg.
And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it, incomplete.
Help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
Brandon McManus on for the field goal. A 47-yard attempt.
The kick by McManus is good.
So kind of disappointing there. I mean, yes, they get the 3, but with starting field position like that, 3's not what you're banking on.
No, and you just have to wonder if you can afford to let chances like that continue to pass you by. You've got to find ways to get the ball into the end zone and put 6s on the scoreboard.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line.
Rondale Moore on the return. The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
At the 21-yard line.
Going quickly out wide to Moore. And he'll be out right at the 35. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right.
Herbert has it knocked free.
And the Packers pick it up. And he will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Green Bay touchdown.
Brandon McManus.
This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. This definitely qualifies.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 21.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
First down, and they go with Swift again.
And some room to maneuver. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score. So when your team leading in the fourth quarter, you know you've got to run the football. They know you've got to run the football. Sometimes that means there's nowhere to run the football.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. On 3rd down, here comes Swift. And some room to work. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. DeAndre Swift with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Vikings get an important score there to extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And it might seal the deal as that makes it a 2-score game here with not a lot of time remaining. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need...
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
Well, let's face it, Brandon, they're down here in the second half. Want to try and make something happen, and if you're the guy with the ball in your hands, you're going to try even harder. Because I think all he was trying to do was to get outside the pocket and see if he can find a big play downfield.
Oh, and fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Swift going to try up the middle. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. 160 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Justin Herbert with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Vikings are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead. And he is going to be stopped short of the goal line. Oh, they'll mark him inside the 1. He just couldn't keep churning those extra few inches. And the 2-point attempt is turned aside.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while, or you call it a day?
You can do that, or you pick something that's a staple for you and should work better and try and execute that on the way out the door and maybe get back to base and feel a little bit better as you end a ball game that's been a frustrating one for you.
We'll see if they go back to base.
And that could be a killer. He'll lose yardage and tackled inbounds.
They lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
And one last throw here for Fields.
Rolling to his left. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Micah Hyde.
And the Vikings come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now official.